Good morning. This morning on my personal tarot or my personal page, I did a one card draw for myself. And I had someone lovely kind of speak up and go, so do all decks have the same cards represented in them? And if they are a traditional, like a real tarot deck, they are going to have all the same cards, but all of these cards are going to be translated a little bit differently. And I want to show you what I mean. And I got some cards out before I started this video, and then I was like, I want to get one more card out of the Wildwood Tarot, just if I can find it, if it will let me. Oh, I found it. Yay. Okay. So my card of the day was the Lover's card from the Druid Craft Tarot. And so I posted this sexy little number on my page. And I wanted to show you, so this is Druid Craft Tarot. This is the Morgan Greer Tarot Lovers card. So there's a little bit, I mean, they're naked. You got some different stuff going on in this one though. Here is the Lovers card from the Rider-Waite. Completely different vibe. Look at the big crazy angel in the background and the sun, which isn't necessarily represented in the other two cards. Look at how formal that card is. Now look at the Deviant Moon Lovers card. So you've got some complete different messages going on here, and you've got a moon in this card rather than the sun. You've got the opposites, the yin and yang, being represented here in the color pretty well. And then you've got, this is the one I wanted to pull out for you. This is the Wildwood Tarot. Look at this Lover's card. Look at how innocent they are. This is Robin Hood and Maid Marian. Look at that. You've got the male pole, the maypole, which could be the male pole represented. But the difference with all of these cards, even though they're the same tarot card, they're the number 6 in the major arcana, they are all going to read differently. So depending on what deck you're working with, they're going to have the same kind of baseline information, but each card is going to give, like, if I got the difference between pulling this innocent Lover's card and this very, like, man, there are some corners on this card in terms of how to read it. Completely different message in terms of how you deliver the Lover's card message. So when you pick up like a how to read tarot book, or you get the little booklet that sometimes comes with this, it's going to give you some basics, but it's not going to speak to your actual card. It's not going to speak to the mythology that might be represented within your card. Like, so within the Druid Craft Tarot, you've got, he's wearing a pair of horns, which talks about like May Day energy. This also talks about May Day energy because you've got the maypole, the tree being like a maypole. But this is completely, this is such an innocent card. So when I teach tarot, oh, what have I done here? Oh, that goes over here. When I teach, there's going to be like 6 Lovers cards in one deck. When I teach tarot, I teach you the deck that you want to read. So if you are drawn to, like, oh my gosh, look at the imagery in this deck. Like, look at the colors. Of course, I picked the Death card. I like the Death card. Look at the colors. Look at the shading. You might be drawn to that deck and think, oh my heckin' heavens, I need to do that. You might be drawn to, like, the mythology, like the Celtic stuff that's going on in the Druid Craft Tarot. You're going to pick up a deck of cards and it's going to have its own story to tell. And that particular story is what's going to make your tarot readings unique. So the Rider-Waite is it's often touted, flouted, I don't know, as the go-to beginner's deck. It is it's a great deck, but it can be a pretty harsh deck. The colors are like, bam! There are some pretty hard lines in this deck. There's a lot of Christianity represented in this deck, a lot of Christian ideas. When you come on over to the Wildwood deck, there's no religious, there's some spirituality being represented, but you're not going to find hints of Christian stuff in here. You might find a little bit of pagan stuff in here. I'm trying to find something that might speak to it. There's a little bit of, for me, there's a little bit of Norse stuff in this, but it's very, I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for. It's like you're in the wild wood. They've put you in the wild wood. So, if you have a tarot deck and you've been wanting to read it, you've been wanting to learn how to read it, my next round starts on the 20th. And yes, we do one-on-one classes. So I am teaching you the deck that you have or the deck that you want to choose. And if you don't have a deck, I can give you some recommendations for some great starter decks. All of these decks that I have, except, well, even the Deviant Moon, I could teach you as a starter deck. Oh, the Witch's Tarot. I should have brought the Witch's Tarot or the Everyday Witch out too. Anyway, there's a whole slew of decks that would be really great for you to start with. What I'm most concerned is, do you connect with that deck? If you honestly pick up a Rider-Waite deck and you love the feeling of like the history associated with it, and you love the feel of it, absolutely, I will teach you this deck like nobody else. And that's because I've taught a lot of different decks, so a lot of different messages can go in to the Rider-Waite. And there is a lot that the Rider-Waite already has going on all by itself. But if you feel drawn to like, what is this? You are not going to get the same. If you pick up like a How to Read Tarot, basic How to Read Tarot, you are not going to get the same messages out of that book that belong to this deck. So I read tarot intuitively, right? I mean, I got that bonus of the like psychic friends thing going on. And that's something that when you start reading tarot, it'll start opening up. Anyway, I just wanted to get on and show you the difference between all the Lovers cards and just kind of give you a quick, like, for the most part, tarot, if it's tarot, it's going to have the same system put together. I have run into a few decks that are tarot. They say that they're tarot. And although they loosely follow the tarot, they are not a traditional tarot deck. And really, I'm thinking of that Book of Shadows. I don't know if you remember, I bought the Book of Shadows Volume 1. It sort of loosely follows the tarot system, but not really. It's got its own thing going on. It's I wouldn't even call it oracle cards. It's just a whole other system for reading. So anyway, if you are ready, if you are open to having a chat about what it might do for you and where you want this to go for you, if you have a tarot deck that has been sitting unused, it is the best thing. So this whole thing started today because I pull a card a day to kind of give me some guidance, and I pulled the Lovers card. And everybody was like, what does that mean for us? And I was like, well, this is my card of the day. It's really, really fun to have your own tarot deck. If you've got you've got some challenges going on, you just want something to meditate on the day, that you can like pick up the deck and go, okay, I know what that means. And I have some guidance and I can carry forward with my challenges. Anyway, I was kind of in the middle of like an online chat when I got it in my head that I wanted to get on and go live this morning. And I do have some work to do today before my readings start. I have a handful of readings today, 2 or 3 of them. My date book is buried now underneath all of this tarot stuff that I just put all over the place. Have the best day. Hit me up in private messaging if you've got some questions. If you are interested in learning how to read your tarot deck that has been sitting in a dusty bin or drawer or on your table and you just haven't learned how to master it. 6 weeks. I can teach you all the meanings and you'll know them intuitively. 8 weeks, 12 weeks if you want to start reading like I do. Okie dokie. I gotta get some second breakfast in me. Have the awesomest day.